Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2 episode, I don't know what episode 3, The Transparent Trap. So it all starts off, the crew is still in Las Vegas to celebrate Letitia and Marcel's 15th marriage anniversary. And in this scene, it starts off with the guys playing basketball in the basketball court, and they're all, talking about what happened the night before with the big blow up between Melody and Martel. And the guys were trying to tell Martel that he allows Melody to push his buttons, and that he always allows himself to, lose control with Melody. And he needs to learn how to just try to walk away whenever, she's trying to escalate the situation. And Martel is not so keen on getting advice. I don't know if he thinks that he can only take advice from someone who's going through exactly something that he's going through right now. And because these guys seem to be in happy marriages and in happy relationships, he probably feels like they have no place to tell him what to do in a situation that he's in, where he is, he's in the process of divorcing Mel, or I don't know if the divorce has been, I think it's been finalized. I'm not sure. I don't know. So, but Martel is extremely hard-headed. For some reason, he just doesn't want to take any advice from anybody. He thinks he knows, what he needs to do, but evidently he doesn't know. It's not working, because whenever you and your ex are together in a room, you have these explosive fights, and that's not healthy for anybody. And it's just so toxic, and Martel needs to listen. He really does need to listen. And it's hard. It is hard when your buttons are pushed, when you're being triggered. It's hard to control your emotions, because you do want to lash out, you do want to yell, and it takes a very strong person to hold those emotions at bay and not let it get that far. It's extremely hard, but that's what he needs to learn how to do, because he's going to have to coexist with Melody because of the fact that they're raising these kids together. And there will never be a point, I don't think, where they will ever be truly rid of each other, because after the kids are grown, are going to come weddings, and there's going to come grandkids, and they're going to be always forced to see each other, cross paths, and they need to learn how to make it more at peace, more civil. If nothing else, just ignore each other. Don't talk to each other. Anyways, and then the boys talk about, Marcel talks about how Tisha had surprised him with a counseling session. She took him to a surprise counseling session. He didn't like that. And the guys, all of them, Martel, Maurice, and Louis, told him that it's a good thing that she took him to this surprise counseling session, because at least she's trying to keep everything together. She's showing an attempt on making it work. And he should take it for what it is and be grateful that she's not just gonna, like Martel said, it's better that she just doesn't act out. Of course, he's referencing Melody. It's better that she just doesn't act out, that she's trying to talk about it with you, and she's trying to go to counseling with you. So all the guys were telling Marcel that he should just, be appreciative and be grateful that Tisha took him to this counseling session. I'm not sure exactly how that sat with Marcel. Okay, now we're going to the pool scene. Everyone's gathered at the pool, the guys and the girls. Everybody's waiting for Melody to emerge. No one has seen Melody, so Martel takes it upon himself to go check on her. That was fine. He approaches her door. He knocks on her door. She, allows him to come in, and he basically starts off with, it seemed like he was trying to apologize for the night before. Instead of Melody just accepting that and moving on, she wanted to rehash the argument, because the argument from the night before was so volatile and she ended up just abruptly leaving. Melody feels like she wasn't able to say what she really wanted to say at the argument, whereas Martel is past that. He wants to move past that. He wants to apologize, and he wants to make the best out of whatever's remaining in this trip. So I was upset with Melody that she decided to, she was like, I need to let you know exactly how I felt when you said ABCD last night. And I'm like, but the argument is over, Melody. It's the next day. It's over. You know, it doesn't matter what you had to say then. Why are you bringing it up now? And, you know, it's just, she just really felt the need to get this out. So she says, you know, you need to understand what triggers me. You like to use things that trigger me. And like the way you brought up the kids, you know, because she released this song, and the song Martell thinks is about him. And I guess it's about the breakup of a marriage and somebody cheating on you. And his issue with the song is, you know, he doesn't want his kids to hear that song because he thinks it's just telling too much about their marriage and about their personal business. Whereas Melody is like, no, I'm just being creative and this is just expressing my feelings on whatever. So he brought up the kids the night before when they were arguing. He had brought up, you know, how you're not worried about the kids. That's why you release the song and you don't even think about how it can affect the children. And so the day after, you know, when he's trying to apologize in her room, she says, you know, what triggers me is when you bring up the kids, because you're so concerned about the kids now, but you weren't concerned about the kids when you were cheating on me and breaking up our family. And then also she says what triggers her is when he brings up her music career. You know, like he diminishes her music career and makes fun of it and belittles it. And she's trying to tell him, you know, that's not right that you do that. I'm trying to move on with my life. I'm trying to move on to bigger and greater things. And every time, you know, you bring up my music career, it's in a really derogatory way. And he's trying to tell her, he told her, he said, when I bring up your music career, I'm always supportive, and I'm supportive in whatever you're trying to do because I want to see you win. And she said something like, when she released her song, well, she says, you didn't have a problem with the song when I released it because you told me congratulations. And Martell was saying, I wasn't telling you congratulations about that specific song. I was telling you congratulations about you succeeding in doing what you want to do, which is to release a song. And Melody was like, well, you had no problem with that song when I released it. You congratulated me. And he was like, I wasn't congratulating you on the song. I was congratulating you on your whole musical endeavor. Melody just wasn't going to get it. And Melody just wanted to fight. And so Martell was like, I'm leaving. I'm out. So he leaves, which is what he should have done, which was a good thing. But then he comes back. So when he came back, they argued some more. And it got so bad that everybody at the pool could hear them argue. Now, everyone's at the pool outside of the house. They're in a back bedroom inside the house. And they were so loud that they could hear them at the pool. So Marcel and Destiny take it upon themselves to go back there and to physically separate them. Marcel had to pull Martell out of that room and carry him out of that room. And he told Martell, I have my hands around you and I'm not going to let go because I'm going to pull you out of here. And it's just like and then to top it all off, in her confessional, Tisha has the audacity to say, every time these two get together, every time we all get together and Martell and Mel are there, they fight. Tish, you did not form your lips to say those words, that every time that y'all bring Martell and Mel together, they fight, and how you think it's just so, you know, it's just so, oh, how dare they, and what's wrong with them. Why did you bring them together? Why did you plan this trip and you bring people who which you have witnessed with your own eyes and ears that they are very toxic right now? They are like, they're explosive whenever they're in the same space. And then you thought that it was a great idea to bring them on a couples trip to Las Vegas. Oh, Tish. Yeah, Tish is, and you know what, y'all, this is something else I wanted to say about Tish. This may be right, this may be wrong, I don't know, I don't care, I have to say this. I kind of feel like Tish did this on purpose. Because Tish still has her issue, I think that Tish is still jealous of Melody and Melody's successes in her businesses and whatever else she's doing professionally. And I think this makes Tish feel some kind of way, makes her feel less than, it makes her feel inferior to Melody. And I think that the one thing that Tisha feels like she is superior than Melody in is her marriage, because her marriage is still intact while Melody is divorced or going through a divorce. And so I think every chance that Tish gets to throw it in Melody's face that, you know, your marriage is crap and mine is not, mine is, you know, pristine, she'll do that. And I think she brought Mel and Martell together because she knew that it was going to be volatile. And anybody's marriage looks good compared to Mel and Martell. So she had ulterior motives in bringing them together. And she also didn't even tell Mel that Martell was going to be there, because she knew that Mel wouldn't come. And it was really important for Tish for Mel to show up, because she just has to rub it in Mel's face that, you know, her marriage is fantastic. They're celebrating their 15th year anniversary. Moving on. Okay, so game night. So they all decide to have game night later on that day. And it was Tiffany and Lewis's idea to have game night. So they're going to have, you know, play games and drink and have a good time. And Melody is in her room. She refuses to come out. You know, she's not in a good mood. And so Tisha goes in there to talk to her. And Melody told Tisha, "Why would you bring me here and not tell me that he was going to be here?" I forgot what Tisha said. It don't matter what Tisha said, because there's no reason, there's no excuse, and she won't tell her the truth. So it doesn't matter what Tisha said, but I'm glad that Melody called her out on that. Like, why would you even bring me here knowing that, you know, me and him don't get along, and you didn't even tell me that he was going to be here? That was so shady of Tisha. And then Kimmy comes in the room, and I noticed that Mel complimented Kimmy on how she looked. You know, she kept on telling her how cute she was, how cute she looked, or something like that. And it just struck me that she didn't compliment Tisha on her looks. So they finally get Mel to come out of the room to participate in game night. And Tiffany made the drinks for everybody. And the game, I don't know what the name of the game was, but it was where you read all the questions were already written out on pieces of paper. I guess you pick out a question from the fishbowl or something, and you ask the question out loud. And if you want to answer, you answer it, but you have to answer it truthfully. And if you don't want to answer the question, you take a drink. So the first question, I think Mel picked it out, and the question was, are your needs being met? And I thought it was in general, but Tiffany said it was referring to, are your sexual needs being met? And Melody was like, yeah. So that kind of, I guess Melody's in a relationship. I think she might have mentioned it before, either last year or at some point on the show. She had mentioned that she was in a relationship, but okay, so she's in a relationship and her needs are being met. Good for her. Then Martell, his question was, how many people have you slept with in one night? And I think also it's not just the person asking the question that has to answer. I think everyone has to answer. And of course, if you don't want to answer, you have to take a drink. So Martell's question was, how many people have you slept with in one night? He admitted that it was 2, and Maurice, Kimmy's husband, admitted that it was 6 in one night. So because he had the most, I don't know, it doesn't matter, we have to take the drink. It didn't matter. So Maurice said that he had 6 in one night. And I was looking at Kimmy real closely, and of course Kimmy is really good at, you know, not showing any kind of reaction, of keeping her face, you know, like keeping a poker face. So I was looking at Kimmy to see how she was going to react. And so here comes Tisha asking him, you know, did you use condoms? He said yes. Did you take a shower after each girl? And at that point, Kimmy was like, you're doing too much right now. And so I thought that it was something that him and Kimmy were like involved in together. But in their confessional, they said that it was something that had occurred way before he met Kimmy. So I'm assuming like maybe his college days or high school days or something. So he had 6 in one night. Good for him. Marcel's question was, have you ever had sex in public? He said yes. And of course it was him and Kimmy. Now, Tiffany asked, her question was, are you happy in your current relationship? Now, here comes Marcel with the nonsense. So the question was, are you happy in your current relationship? Everybody drunk, said yes, except for Marcel. Now, he didn't drink, right? And so somebody pointed that out, that, hey, everybody took a drink except for Marcel. And then he he was like, I'm just kidding, or something like that. And then he drank. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, when you joke around like this, it makes your wife feel some kind of way. And still you do this. Why? Why do you do this? Why, Marcel? Why do you take these opportunities that you know is going to make Tisha upset? Because even though you said you were joking, it kind of indicates that maybe there's some truth in it. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of insinuates that maybe there's some truth in it. And this is the thing that gets Tisha so upset. Like, why would you do that? You know that your marriage is like rocky, or it's being questioned right now on how strong it really is. And then you joke about it. Why? I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was funny at all. But that's Marcel. Now, are we moving on from that? Yeah, let's move on from that. So Tisha asks, after they were done playing the games, Tisha asked the group, I don't know why, I guess because, 15-year marriage, wedding anniversary, and it's appropriate, I guess. She asked the group for marital advice. So when she asked the group, if they can give any kind of marital advice, what would it be? Maurice says, whatever you did to get your mate, keep doing that after you get them. So don't stop being sexy. Don't stop doing things, whatever you did, the considerate things, the loving things, the romantic things, whatever you had to do to get that person, continue to do them to keep that person. Okay, that made great sense. And Kimmy also agreed to that. And I think somebody asked the question, I think it was Tisha, if it made a difference that Maurice and Kimmy got married. So, a little bit later in life, I think they're like in their 40s or something, if that might contribute to the success of their marriage, because they waited until they were more situated, more mature, so on and so forth. And I don't remember what they said. I think they kind of implied that it really didn't matter, but maybe it helped. I don't remember what they said, what their answer was. Then Destiny said that, Martel's advice was take care of your mate. And then Tisha goes, well, you got to take care of your wife too. And Martel was like, that's why I said take care of your mate. Take care of each other. I didn't say take care of your husband only. I said take care of your mate, whoever your mate may be. Take care of that mate. Thank you, Martel, for breaking it down, because... Oh, Tisha. Destiny said that she doesn't regret her marriage breaking up per se, but she does regret that they never had a chance to really be a family, which is really sad. I don't know too much about Destiny and her husband and her marriage or what the issues were. I don't read up on these people. I have no idea what happened. But it seemed like, I felt like they were together for a while before they had the baby, or before they got married. I think they were together for a while, and it seems like they got married and then they had the baby and then it was over. So she says that she really regrets that they didn't stay together long enough to have that sense of family, because they divorced soon after she gave birth, because I don't even think their child was a year old yet when this season aired. So it seemed like, it happened really quick, and it's sad. It's really, really sad, because when you're married and you're pregnant, you have these hopes and dreams of, starting your, growing your family, and what it's going to be like for you and your husband to raise this child that you're pregnant with. And then as soon as the baby's born, it's over and you're a single mom. And yeah, that was sad when she said that. That made me feel sad. Then Tisha brings up Kiowa, because Tisha, she knows the right things to say at the right time. They're all celebrating, having a good time, playing games, and here comes Tisha. And she asks Martel, and she's like, Kimmy, I don't want you to be offended by this, but I just, Martel, do you think that if you would have tried harder, no, that's not what she said. She said, Kiowa told me that if you would have put in more effort in the marriage, she would have stayed. She wanted to stay with you. She wanted to stay married to you. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. And later on, y'all get on Tiffany for bringing up stuff at the wrong time, at the wrong place. But you felt this was appropriate. Okay. First of all, Tisha, Kiowa and Martell is yesterday's news. I mean, Kiowa and Maurice, that's yesterday's news. They're divorced. They've been divorced. They've moved on with other people. He's married to your sister-in-law. Why are you bringing that up? Like, why would you? That is so crass. It's so inappropriate. It's so disrespectful to Kimmy. It's just unnecessary. Like, what are you trying to do? And I know that there's her theme, her and Marcel's theme is stay together no matter what. Whatever the cost, whatever the risk, whatever the damage may be, stay together at all costs. Just stay together. No matter how toxic, no matter how unhappy, just stay together. So she asks Maurice, would you have stayed? Why didn't you? Like, Kiowa said that she would have worked it. If you would have put in more effort, she would have stayed with you. And I liked Maurice's answer. He said, I left because there was nothing to work for. I knew that it was over. I knew that if I would have stayed, it would have been toxic. And they have a child together. So I'm pretty sure he had to consider that as well. Do you stay together, unhappy, fighting, or if you choose not to fight in front of your children, just being unhappy around each other where the children can sense the stress and the tension? Do you do that, or do you move on for both parents to be happy? And yes, it will be difficult, very, very difficult for the child to have to, maneuver and grow up in two separate homes and dealing with parents who are no longer together. It's not going to be easy. Either way, it's not going to be easy. So you have to choose the less toxic of the two. And so he said it wasn't going to work. It just wasn't going to work. And now they got a divorce. They moved on. It appears to me, I'm not saying that Monster hasn't had challenges and hasn't gone through a lot of, tough days growing up in a home where his parents are divorced. I'm pretty sure it's been very difficult for him, but it seems like his parents love him. It seems like his bonus parents love him as well. And he had two more people three really, because Kimmy has her own son who is Monster's stepbrother. And it seems like he gained three people at least that love him. And also, I'm pretty sure Kimmy's side of the family adore Monster. So he gained all these other people that love him. And it's not easy. I know it can't be easy. It's got to be hard for everybody. But for her to bring that up when everything has been settled, and her to bring that, well, your ex-wife told me that she would have stayed with you if you just would have worked on it. Oh, I'm surprised that Kimmy didn't just backhand her right then and there. So in her confessional, Kimmy questions Tisha's intentions. Like, why would you ask that? I question that too. And it's all part of her plan of proving to people that it's more important and it's better to stay in a marriage, regardless of what's going on. It's better to keep the marriage together at all costs. So that's her intentions. She's basically trying to say that, Maurice and Kiowa should have, they did the wrong thing by breaking up their family. They should have tried harder and stayed together, no matter how toxic it would have been. I see you, Tisha. I see you. Okay. So now they decide to all go out. The guys are going to go out with the guys. The girls are going to go out with the girls. Now, as they are getting ready, everyone's getting ready for the night. And Tiff and Lewis in their room, they're getting ready. And this is funny. Tiff and Lewis are, I understand. I get what Tiffany's trying to do. She's trying to make a mark on the show so that they can be asked to come back again. I get it. So you're trying to rock the boat and, you're trying to be all controversial and, the bone carrier and stir everything up, because you want to come back. I get it. I guess she's doing her job. So her and her husband are in their room getting ready and they're talking about Tisha's surprise counseling. And I guess this is where her husband tells her what Marcel had said, that he thinks that Tisha is lacking in confidence. He said that so Lewis is talking to his wife as they're getting ready for the night, and he's referencing to the basketball game when they were playing basketball with the guys, and he's telling his wife, when we were out there playing basketball, Marcel had mentioned how Tisha surprised him with the counseling session. She did this whole surprise counseling thing, and that also Marcel had mentioned that Tisha, as the years have gone on, has lost a lot of confidence in herself. And so he tells his wife this. Now, I definitely heard Marcel said on the basketball court that Tisha has lost confidence in herself. He said, because I remember Marcel mentioning that, she used to have this confidence about her. She used to walk with her back straight, her shoulders back, and now it's like she's lacking in something. So he tells Tiffany that, which she will definitely be using later. And Destiny's confessional, she says that there's still something about Tiffany that she doesn't like. She can't quite put her finger on it, but it's like the Karen in her that she just doesn't like. She calls Tiffany a Karen. And of course, Destiny has issues with Tiffany because of, because of Tiffany trying to call out Destiny's husband, trying to say, that she had seen her husband with another woman at some event somewhere. And so Destiny, of course, has personal issues with Tiffany. But yeah, she called her a Karen in her confessional, and I thought that was really funny. Tisha thinks that her marriage to Marcel is like this epic thing, that's never been done before in the history of the world, because she keeps mentioning how it's just so amazing that they've been able to stay married for 15 years. And it's just like, oh wow, we've stayed together, we've stuck it out for 15 years, and a lot of couples can't say that. And I'm like, okay, why are you saying this in front of two women who you claim are your friends, two women who have recently gone through a divorce? Why are you constantly showboating, bragging, broadcasting about how you're in this epic, amazing 15-year marriage? You've been married 15 years. Great, wonderful, good for you. Why constantly? I think she's constantly bringing it up, but maybe I have a problem with Tisha. So when they're all out, the girls are all out at whatever club, they're drinking, smoking hookah, having a good time, dancing and partying. So they all sit down to take a breather. And, she talks about her 15-year marriage. And then Tisha says that she wants to do a surprise Vowel renewal with Marcel. And I'm just like, oh, what? So she wants to do this surprise Vowel renewal. And Tiffany mentions that she threw her husband a surprise wedding. And but she says that she should kind of give Marcel a little bit of a heads up before she does the vow renewal. Then how would it be a surprise, Tiffany? Tisha claims that her marriage was actually improved since they've had that surprise counseling. They go out on more dates. They started dating again. But then when they show the preview of the next episode, Tisha's back to crying again in front of Marcel. Tiffany asked if Tisha has stayed in her marriage just for the kids. And of course, what kind of a question is that? It really bothers me when people ask stupid questions. And the reason why I say stupid questions is because what the answer is going to be, So it's like asking, it's just like, do you really think that Tisha is going to sit there and say to you, yes, my marriage is horrible, it's horrific, I'm in so much pain, and we're only staying for the children? Do you think Tisha's going to say that? Even if that's the truth, she's not going to say that. So why ask that? You're just being shady, which is like, that's what she's here for. But you're just being shady. You're basically saying everybody here thinks that you're staying for the kids. Everybody here knows that your marriage with Marcel ain't nothing. Everybody here knows that. You're putting on a facade. You're faking it. This is all smoke and mirrors. Your marriage is crap. You're just staying for the children. That's basically what Tiffany's saying. This is what Tiffany, not me. Tiffany's saying, we all think that your marriage is, a whole bunch of hoopla, and you're just there for the children. You're just sticking together for the kids. Y'all are not really there for each other. But Tisha says, no, they're not staying together for the kids. She says that, they're staying together for love. They love each other, and they want to be together because they want to be together. And, that's why they are together. Now, my thing is this, I think that Oh, and then Tiffany also had brought up, well, this is what my husband told me when they were playing basketball, that, Marcel had said that you lack, not only do you lack confidence in yourself and you don't know who you are or whatever, but you also lack confidence in knowing who Tisha is not confident in herself, and she's not confident on who Marcel is either. That's what Tiffany said. Her husband said Marcel told the boys when they were playing basketball that, and I was just like, okay, whatever, she's trying to be messy. That's fine. And when she said that, the camera had panned to Tisha and Mel was sitting next to Tisha, and Mel just had this really surprised look on her face. And she asked Tiffany, what do you mean that she doesn't have any confidence? And then Tisha says, I'm a very confident woman. I have never heard that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm a very confident woman. But you can see right through Tisha. Tisha is not good at hiding her emotions like the way Kimmy is. You can see right through Tisha. She was hurt by that comment. To me, it looked like Tisha was extremely hurt by that comment. I mean, it shook her. It really shook her. And she was trying to keep it together and be all like, all blasé. And, I don't know I don't know why he would say that. I don't have those issues. I'm confident. I'm confident in myself. But it was just said in the most non-confident way. Destiny says that Tiffany's doing too much. Destiny thinks that Tiffany's just doing way too much. Mel thinks that Tiffany is in the right. So then Destiny and Melody kind of get into it because, Destiny called out Tiffany for, just being messy. Like, why would you bring that up? You're just being messy. This is not the time to bring up what her husband said about her. And it's just not right. And so Melody says to Destiny, well, what should she have done? And Destiny said, well, she should have had a little bit more couth, have a little bit more respect for the situation, read the room a little bit. And Melody once again says to Destiny, well, what should she have done? And then Destiny goes, there you are again, defending Tiffany. And Melody's like, I'm not defending Tiffany. And then Tiffany says, well, Destiny, we know you just have an issue with me. You had an issue with me in Detroit. You had an issue with me in wherever you had an issue with me. And then that's when, Destiny was really done. And she was like, whatever. She got up and she was like, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? So as she gets up, she threatens to drag Tiffany in every single city that she was in or whatever she said. But, it was on and popping. So that was the end of that episode. Now, this is what I think about Letitia and Marcel. These names, Letitia and Marcel. Through and through, I do believe that Marcel was looking for a Susie homemaker. Marcel, I think, was looking for a wife to stay home, cook and clean, have some kids, and, be his cheerleader, his little support system. And that's it. I don't think he was really looking for an equal. Okay. I don't think he was looking for an equal. I think he was looking for a Susie homemaker type of wife, a June Cleaver type of wife. And I think that Tisha, either she wanted to be married so bad or she was so much in love with Marcel that she was willing to be that for him. And as time went on, she kind of found herself again and wanted to do more than just be a housewife. Or maybe because she saw Mel achieving all of her professional dreams and now she wanted to do the same. But I really do think that Marcel was just looking for June Cleaver, Susie homemaker type of wife. And I think he struggles with this new Tisha. And I don't know if Marcel was like head over heels, deeply crazy in love with Tisha. I think he was definitely attracted to her and whatnot, and he does love her, but I don't know if it's that sexy kind of I'm so crazy about you, I can't live without you kind of love. I think that he is used to Tisha taking care of him, and I think that he probably would not, it's not easy for him to walk away from her or to leave her, because where else, how likely is it he will find another wife like that, in this day and age where women are, bosses and entrepreneurs, and they're not going to stay home and just cook and clean and that's it. So I think that he can't walk away from her because he's so used to her taking care of him. And but I do think that there's something going on there. Tisha wants a husband who will allow her to be who she is and who will have that crazy kind of love for her. And I think with Marcel, he's just comfortable. He's just coasting. He's just, this marriage to him is just like surface level. It is what it is. It works. I get to go out of the house, do what I want, make money, whatever he does outside the house. Then I come home, the house is clean, the food is cooked, the kids are taken care of. He's happy. He's happy with that. And I think Tisha is feeling stifled. She's feeling limited. And I think that she's at this crossroads in her marriage where if she becomes the woman that she knows she's meant to be, that she wants to be, she may lose the man that she has because he's probably not ready for that. And does she stay Susie Homemaker and allow things to go on as they've always gone on just to stay in a marriage? Or does she take that risk and branch out and be who she wants to be at the risk of possibly losing her marriage? Because maybe Marcel is not going to put up with it, or Marcel will put up with it, but he's going to be like, okay, you do your thing in this marriage, I'm going to go do my thing, and whatever that thing is. You go off and you be, the new Oprah Winfrey or the next Kamala Harris, you go out there and you take over the world, then I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do the thing that makes me happy, whatever that is. But yeah, we can still be in this marriage together, but we're going to be, together but not together. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. But that is my review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And join me next time. You all take care. Bye-bye.